Hey, everybody that's coming in. I know y'all see my title, so that let y'all know what's happening. But I am going to issue an apology before I start. But I am interested in this Royals. Few people say that they were, and I told them that I was going to come back and speak on it. So there's a lot going on right now. We are in the beef sector, and there's a lot going in for the messy beef sector part of it, of this sector, but that's not where I'm at right now. This is totally different. Hey, China Doll. So those that's interested, come on in. Those that's interested not here, because let's face it, everybody choose to be with a beefy at first. Well, they can always come catch the replay. Okay? Because I'm interested in this world situation. So with that said, let me get my little wah-wah stuff and send it by me. And those that's interested, I'm going to read the story on it, and I'm going to do a few clips of Megan speaking. So let's just have a little bit of positive fun right now for a minute, y'all. Let's do this. Let's just do this. Let's get it popping in there. And then I was looking for Duchess Kelly and Amazing Love to be on at this time of day as well. If you, I'll talk to you. Come on. And it is what it is right now at this point. Because this has been advertised, the news, and I was waiting to watch it. I got me some of my water poured in my bowl. You know, that flavored water that I told y'all helped me to stop drinking Sunflowers. Let me see if I got this camera set up right for y'all. And of course, I still got some coffee. Of course, I still got some coffee, y'all. Let's get it popping. Okay, I got it set up right. Yeah, I still dressed like this in my lounger with my questions cap. I still got it on. I ain't gonna wear it. Ate my breakfast. I strolled around a little bit. It is what it is. I'm comfortable. So evidently y'all like the roles too, because y'all see my title, so y'all know it's not about, you know what I'm saying. So the three of y'all just like it, we can talk about it. Okay, thank you, China Doll. Like I said, we the only ones, you know, it ain't gonna be that many people here. Ain't nobody into what we want to talk about. Yeah, but sometimes, you know, you guess your spirit got to do something, leave you different. But however, before I go on, y'all see my description box. I have Brianna's name, but she's on live right now. She can catch it later. Apparently, I offended her, and that's not what I meant to do. So I truly apologize to her. And where it's coming from is Kiki came on this morning when I did a live. I had my question cap on because I didn't see her live last night. And so this morning I was telling y'all they were saying she had got into it with her brother Dwayne or whatever, and they said it was horrific. Anyway, people came on and gave me some tea on it. Kiki had a part that he had audio, and if he had more, I don't know. But he was just played the part about Lady Nika calming it down and a little bit her brother. But at the same time, then I was in favor of her. I was saying, you know, I don't know why he would go off like that. Anyway, I thought I was speaking up in her defense. I really did. So, Brianna, when you catch this replay, I truly apologize if I offended you. That's not what I was trying to do. It was just simply commentary. But they say the reason why she got offended because she had privated the video. See, I ain't know nothing about she had privated no video for, you know, until after the fact, really, right before Kiki came on. But I'm thinking she privated it like I've seen her do maybe once or twice to edit it. I didn't know it was private because she didn't want absolutely nothing to get out. Okay? So I'm publicly apologizing to her if I offended her because I in no way, shape, form, or fashion tried to do that, Brianna. Okay? So let me move on to the Duke and the Duchess. Because sometimes I have privated stuff a few times too and brought it back. One time I privated something because I wanted to edit something out of it, not to put it down forever. So evidently it must have been really bad. But in her defense, like I said, you know what I'm saying, I said it was wrong, which I didn't hear that part of what actually happened, but I did say it was wrong. And for people to speak up on, especially them people over there twisting on the elders, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think that should have went on like that, but hopefully they'll work it out. Then again, the way I heard it took place might be worked out, might not. Again, if I offended you, Brianna, I can truly be the woman that I am and apologize. Because I've seen you put stuff down before to say you got to edit it. So anyway, that's the way it was with me. Okay, that's all. So let's move right along to the Royals. That's good. We're going to hear a little clip of it, and I'm also going to read a little bit of it. Okay. Ooh, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. I want to read the news part of it first. Let me see what part I want to do. Let me turn my gadget down too, because I just want to read a little bit. Now, first of all, anybody saw it? Anybody here saw it? Gonna be welcome to come up and talk about it with me if they want to. Okay, let's do this part first. Let's read the story first, okay? Let's read the story first. Okay, we're gonna read the story first. Wow, this is cold-blooded too. In a wide-ranging interview aired Sunday, Megan described painful discussions within the royal family about the color of her son's skin before he was born and how the intense pressures of royal life led her to contemplate suicide. Wow, that was deep. They didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol, and that he wasn't going to receive security. The Duchess of Sussex told Oprah Winfrey, referring to Archie, who was born in May of 2019. The baby lost already. When he was born, they was worried about the color of his skin. Okay. In those months when I was pregnant, she said, all around the same time. So we had in tandem the conversation of you won't be given security, not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversation about how dark your skin might be when he's born, said Megan, who is biracial. So they worried about if he's going to take after her mother's side. Now, her mother, keep in mind, is also a black woman, but she's a bright skin, not real bright, but a light-skinned black person. And Megan, everybody knows she's mixed. So more than likely the child will come out looking more white anyway, because you have less black in there anyway, not unless the baby would came out darker on her mother's side, if her mother had dark in her family line. So you have her being mixed and him all the way white. He will come out more white anyway. But anyway, let's carry on. Megan told Oprah that the royal family didn't want her and Prince Harry's son to be made a prince. See, she couldn't even have security because of that. The 2-hour broadcast was the most anticipated royal interview since Harry's late mother, Princess Diana, shared intimate details of her failed marriage to Charles in 1995, denting the heir's reputation and the family's standing in the eyes of British public. Megan, a former actress, said she had suicidal thoughts and considering harming herself after asking for help but getting none. This was very, very clear and very scary, she said. I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening constant thought. And I remember how Prince Harry just cradled me, with cradling her. Isn't that cold-blooded, you guys? Isn't that cold-blooded, y'all? Now, let's listen to just a little bit of what she said. Let's just listen to just a little tiny bit. Now, I'm not going to show the pictures because this is news and I don't know if I'll get flagged or not, but we're going to listen to a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little teeny bit.
And also,
now, let me see, we go back a little bit.
And also concerns and conversations.
Wait a minute.
He won't be.
I didn't go back far enough.
He's not going to be given a title.
It's cold though, y'all. This is
And
really cold-blooded.
He won't be given security. He's not going to be given a title. And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
She says tabloid scrutiny and life within the royal family made her miserable and lonely. She says at her lowest point, she thought about committing suicide.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought.
Before this interview, Meghan accused the palace of orchestrating a smear campaign. Last week, the British newspaper The Times ran a report where sources claim she treated some of her staff so badly that they quit. The palace, which normally is silent on anything published in the papers, said it was concerned about the allegations and would investigate, which it notably did not do over Prince Andrew's sexual abuse allegations.
Not only was I not being protected, but that they were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but they weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband.
CBS reported.
See, she said all this in an Oprah interview, y'all.
At least $7 million to air the interview, which hit primetime in North America just hours after the Queen's own message.
Looking forward, relationships with others across the Commonwealth will remain important.
In that broadcast, there was no hint of the rift or some of the dark revelations made.
Now, that family, even from the beginning, didn't care about her at all. See, I don't know how she stayed there the little amount of time that she was there. Let's see. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let me turn this down. I don't know how she did that. But I'm just glad she moved away, got away from over there.
Speak your truth today.
A teaser for the Oprah Winfrey interview with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
This is when they was interviewing.
Even before the ad started appearing, media reports here had the royal family bracing itself for a coming storm.
I don't know how they could expect that after all of this time, we would still just be silent if there is an active role that the firm is playing in perpetuating falsehoods about us.
The interview will also touch on Harry's acrimonious relationship with the British.
I'm only playing how they was doing when they were advertising it right now. We're going to get to a little bit of Oprah part two. Also, that they aired about the interview. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to Meghan saying her own words, which I've already read some of it, but we're going to listen to her speaking in her own words. Okay? This is terrible, y'all. Just terrible that she had to go through this to the point where she threatened suicide.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
She says tabloid scrutiny and life within the royal family made her miserable and lonely. She says at her lowest point, she thought about committing suicide.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought.
Y'all, oh my God. Now, I don't know if I can air the whole Oprah interview without getting flagged. That's why I'm not doing it. So I'm sticking close to the thing because these people are really picky about when you play stuff. That's why I was careful when I did my title because, I couldn't really say it the way I wanted to say it. But let me see which part of it I could possibly play. Let's see. Now, Gayle King, she even gave her interview on it. Let's see what Gayle King said about it.
Let's let's pick it up right where we left off before the commercial break, where Harry wants to make it very clear, it seems, that he did not blindside the Queen. We left, I don't know if you could hear it, with a bite where you said, doesn't the Queen get to do what the Queen wants to do? He had made several attempts to see his grandmother.
Yes, and I think that was such an important story to be shared last night. In the process of trying to edit this 3 hours and 20 minutes down to an hour and 25 minutes, I'd said to my team, the most important question to be answered here at the end of this show will be, why did they leave? And I think the stories about being blindsiding the Queen were very, very damaging to them, and also hurtful, because they understood very clearly that there had been months and months of preparation before they actually moved to Canada. And truthfully,
Now, see what Oprah's talking about. They felt like that they blindsided the Queen when they moved. In reality, they had prepared for this months and months ahead of time. But they must have known that Megan sooner or later was going to get out of there, because they might have. This is me saying this allegedly. I shouldn't say this. I don't know if some an accident was going to happen to her or not. Bottom line, that's all I'm trying to say. Okay. I don't blame him for getting out of there and getting his wife out of there, knowing how his family was toward them. I don't blame them not one bit. I'm quite sure any of us would have did that if we was in a situation like that, which we never would be. Let's face it, we never would be part of the royals. But any kind of family you up in like that, thank you, Nappy Child. I didn't think you put that up there. Let me read it. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. This is just, y'all, I don't know how they stayed there that long. I really don't. I don't know how she stayed there that long. I feel bad for her. If y'all didn't see the actual interview, go watch it. Watch her body movements. Watch how hurt she is when she's talking about it. Watch the whole thing. And Harry felt like he was let down by his dad. What he was. His dad evidently was a part of all that too as well. Wow, y'all. And every news story is breaking it. Every news story is talking about this. Everyone. So y'all can't, if any of y'all missed it, I don't know how, because it's all in the news. Now, is anybody here that's interested in this like I am, that may want to come up and talk about it? Hey, Laurie. Because like I said, it's a lot going on right now. You know, people choose to be, you know, where that kind of beef is going on. But right now, I want to come back and talk about something positive. So I really don't expect for nobody to be interested in this. Or they can catch a lady for real if they really interested in it. I put to you like this. Because anything else going on right now, you know, old people playing old stuff, I just don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. So anybody else here that's interested, because a few people that asked me about it is not here that wanted to talk about it. So, and I don't see none of them, so I wanted them to come up and talk about it. Thank you, China Doll. Well, let's carry on. We're going to listen to some more of the interview. We're going to listen to one of these whole interviews. But they mostly just playing the one over and over again. Then they want to say Megan accuses palaces of lying in Oprah interview. No, that's not true. But they're not going to return to the royals. Let's see what they're saying.
Engagements, Prince Harry dressed in uniform. He's known to have cherished his military titles. The couple held a number of royal patronages given to them by the Queen, all now stripped away. Buckingham Palace says the couple couldn't continue.
That is so wrong that his birth rights are stripped away. Y'all see how they do it? But even in normal life and walks of life, things like that happen. Oh, they're going to disinherit you if you marry a black lady. They don't really like her. You ain't part of the family no more, even when you have mixed children. Like I said, my daughter-in-law, her white side of the family didn't claim her at all. She only know her black Creole side. Hey, Paulette. She only know her Creole side. Let me see. Let's listen to how they stripped all this stuff away. I wouldn't want to be part of no family like that. I couldn't do it.
And duties that come with a life of public service, but they remain much loved members of the family.
To the outsider, this may seem harsh, but the message really out of Buckingham Palace is very clear. You are either in the royal family or you're out.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepped down last year, breaking from the royal family and moving to the U.S. The door was left open for them to return. But they signed lucrative deals with Netflix and Spotify in their desire to find financial independence, and it cost them. Those close to Harry and Meghan say this wasn't how they wanted things to end.
I know that he'll be personally gutted, just as I was, that he's not allowed to pull a military uniform on anymore. But regardless, that doesn't change his commitment to the individuals that serve in it and those that require care beyond it.
The couple say even without an official role, we can all live a life of service. Service is universal. The Sussexes already made headlines twice this week, first announcing they are expecting their second child, and then news they would sit down for an exclusive interview with Oprah Winfrey.
You know what? This is when they were advertising. I didn't know that she was expecting another child. Did y'all know that? Even that baby gonna be stripped of all the inheritance except for what her and her mother, except for what Meghan and her husband is gonna provide for them. So you know, they independent right now. They got none of the royal money. Everything has been stripped. There's no title. Before the baby was even born, the title was stripped because the baby, they didn't know it was going to be dark, just because the girl is biracial. You know, and I thought some of that racism was over with back then since they were showing it. I really did, y'all. So is anybody here interested in that might want to talk about it? Because I don't expect nobody else to like it but me, really, because I didn't expect nobody to be here, you know, talking about it, but I wanted to discuss it. Oh, and let me look at my gadget, too, because I'm seeing somebody here saying something, and I've already did what I had to do with that situation. Let me see if I got them people blocked or what, because it sounds like somebody trying to plant some seeds, and I'm just going to remove them if that's the case. Let me see if they're gone. Let's see. Let me see if they're gone. But I appreciate you, China Doll. Thanks, Yaya, Nappy Chow. And in the fruit that is interested in this. Good afternoon, Vegas girl. I think I spoke to you. Okay, I don't see what I'm looking for right now. I'll get back to it. Maybe Nappy Chow seen who I was talking about. I don't see that person right now. Because it was going to be all about Tulu. Hey, no nonsense. You was the topic of my discussion this morning with Miss Theo. And I told, I don't know you. Wasn't around when you was really over there with the TSCC at the same time. I don't dislike, I like you. I don't know nothing about you. But of course, it was about that money. There wasn't no drag fest, though. Don't take it the wrong way. And I wanted you to be here this morning so you could have spoke up for yourself. And I kept saying, I wish nonsense dropped down, but you wasn't nowhere around. So that's how that went. It was just some commentary. Well, all the Prince Philip sisters were married to top-ranking Nazis. Okay, so you're somebody that's really into the royals, huh? Well, I knew you wasn't TSCC. I didn't say no nonsense. You used to be a supporter over there or something, and I was basically saying I wasn't there even when you used to be a supporter over there. Basically, maybe I should put it like that. You know, and if you was, that's no problem. And see, now she's not here no more right now for us to speak on it. I wish she was. So right now, kick back. Let's just enjoy the Royals. Are you into the Royals? No nonsense. Do you like the Royals? Are you interested in this? Well, you must be. You see my title, huh? I just wanted to come on and talk about something just a little different for a few minutes. Only because I told somebody yes, I was going to talk about it. So do you watch? You want to grab my link? Are you into the Royals? And I know a lot of people gonna say they don't want to hear no royals be set. I get it, but that's okay. My mind is spanned more than farther than here, whether people believe it or not. But that's the truth. I'm not all about just that. But I wish she was here to speak up for herself. Okay, no, if there's no argument here, you won't be disrupted. None. She's not here anyway. We're just gonna talk, but I'm just saying she discussed it this morning, and I said I wish she was here, just in case you want to speak on it. That so she wasn't really dragging. She just tell you what went on. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm taking a big swallow. Oh, child, that water's good. Oh, Lord. So anyway, back to the Royals. China Doll message recheck. Okay, I'm picking up my other thing. I don't know anything, Aquarius rising, about Prince Philip's sisters married to all the top Nazis. I don't know anything about it, but like I said, but didn't you somebody? Please take a second to. You're somebody that really keep up with it. Just roll my ball back earlier. You'll see what I was talking about. Okay, so let's get to the other part of the other. Let's listen to the other people talking about the Royals. It's a lot of them on here doing it, y'all. It's a lot of different interviews on here. Let's get everybody's take on it. Okay. Wow. So Prince Harry and that, when they made that decision, y'all, to leave, that was the best thing that they could have possibly done. I just feel so sorry for this lady, and it makes me think that, well, her husband loves her enough to even leave his family, y'all. Now that's a good thing. So you know how sometimes in those families, when they get threatened to get, if they inheritance stripped or whatever the case may be, they'll go along with the inheritance because they like the money. But I guess since he's been in money all his life, he really don't care about all that. I mean, that's just the way I'm taking it. But to go as far as to her thinking about committing suicide, y'all, that's deep. Harry told Oprah Winfrey that he would not have stepped back from the royal family had it not been for Meghan. He said, because I was trapped but didn't know I was trapped. See, in the beginning, he didn't even realize how much he was trapped. He wouldn't have stepped back if it wouldn't been for Meghan, meaning he loved his wife. So I get that. So that's love, to give up everything that you grew up with, everything in your life that you ever known, the money and all. They had made deals before they even left. Because like they said, it was taking months in preparation of this to do other things so they can be financially independent without the roles. Now that's what you call love, y'all, huh? Because let's just face it, most of these rich people was pick the money. He said, my family literally cut me off financially. He said, but I got what my mom left me without that we would not have been able to do this. So the money that was left to him by his mother, his late mother, evidently, well, y'all know it had to be millions, probably a billion, that is still sustaining him right now to this day. So the only money he have is from his mother's side. That's all he needs because it's still plenty. And, Meghan said the family tried to silence her, and people within the institution not only failed to protect her against malicious claims by the British press, but lied to protect others. So they wouldn't protect her, but they made up lies to protect others. Ain't that cold, y'all? Ain't that cold? I'm glad that he still had all that money from his mother. And Harry also denied blindsiding his grandmother, because Queen Elizabeth was saying that he blindsided her. And he said he didn't blindside her. They knew. He said, we had 3 conversations with my grandmother and 2 conversations with my father before he stopped taking calls. So before he stopped taking calls from them, they had conversations about this. And then he said, can you put all this in writing? He said when he was asked why Charles had stopped taking the calls, Harry said, by that point, I took my matters he took matters into his own hands. When his dad started taking his calls, he took matters into his own hands. He said it was like he needed to do this for his family, meaning his family, Megan, his child, and his unborn child. He said it's really sad that it got to this point, but he had to do something for his own mental health, my wife's, and for Archie's as well. So he had to make this step, he said, but not only his wife's mental health, because she did say she thought about committing suicide, it was so heavy, but himself, and that he didn't want his child be mentally disturbed too as a child, because you know, kids do internalized stuff. Kids do feel stuff, whether we know it or not, you know. So that's what he did. He was a man. He stepped up and did what he had to do. Megan also denied British tabloids reports that she made her sister-in-law, Kate Duchess of Cambridge, cry before her 2018 wedding, but said that rather the reverse happened. So they was trying to say she made Kate cry, but it was the opposite way. She cried. They made her cry. See, they was just telling big lies on them that Megan. They didn't like her from the gate. Megan told Oprah Winfrey that Kate subsequently apologized and forgave her, and she forgave her. So when Kate apologized to her for doing that and treating her bad, she forgave Kate. But y'all know, I'm thinking there had to be a fake apology. Kate didn't really mean that. She said, but when the tabloid stories emerged purporting the opposite, Megan said that marked a turning point for her relationship with UK media and said she would have hoped Kate would have wanted the story corrected. See, but no, Kate didn't want the story corrected. She wanted everything to keep looking bad for Megan, in my opinion. You're right, Aquarius Wing. I remember Fergie was treated bad. Fergie also came to the States. And they didn't like the fact that Fergie was in the mainstream and that she was doing commercials and stuff. They felt like somebody of her stature shouldn't have been doing commercials or anything, you know, that the royals didn't approve of. So I do remember that story back then as well. I do remember that as well. Y'all, that's a mess. That's a hot mess. How long I've been talking? Oh, I've been talking over 30 minutes. But anyway, the tabloids been having the field day line on her. The royals won't do anything about that, so they had no choice but to come over here. And Megan told Oprah Winfrey, you know, from day to day, she never understood that the day to day was going to be like. She said she went into this naively. She was very naive when she went into that. Yeah, you know, meaning joining the royal family. She was naive. She probably was. She probably thought that they really was welcoming her with open arms, to where they was all behind his grandmother and his dad was all behind his back, doing the most about then his fiance then, before they got married. They didn't like it then, way back then. That's cold hearted. Wow. Megan, who said she was not being paid for the interview, also said she and Harry were married by the Archbishop at Canterbury 3 days before the public wedding. She called that day an out-of-body experience. Now, she had to get married 3 days by their Archbishop of Canterbury. Then they had to do another wedding for all the public, you know, for all of us to see. See, they wanted her to keep up that facade, that fakeness that was going on. That's what they wanted her to do. You're right, Nat, child. They didn't want them to make their own money. They didn't want them to make their own money. Well, I don't know how she did it for as long as she did it. Now, let me go to the tube, because Timothy Blaine did a good interview yesterday, too, on the Royals. Let's see what he was saying. Let me go to Timothy Blaine. I didn't get a chance to watch his review on it, but I passed through, and he did a review on it. Meghan, Harry, and Archie. Archie's the little boy. Well, he did it about 3 hours ago. I'm glad somebody else on the YouTube did something more positive. I'm glad he did that, because it gave us the chance to watch something else. with his crazy stuff. That would put up the fair rights, y'all. Let me listen to what Timothy Blaine had to say about it. I like to watch it different views. Rising. Aquarius Rising said, I toured Kensington Palace, but they recited, which seemed drab and gloomy. It probably seemed like a more of a business, even in living quarters, than a cozy home. So I get what you said, drab and gloomy. He's speaking to people right now. Nappy, put up the fair whites for me again, because I want to hear what Timothy Blaine. I want to hear his review on it. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Last night. I can't believe that I'm actually talking about this. Of course, everybody in the world is talking about it, so it's not like I can.
Exactly, everybody in the world talking about it.
But I believe that we all have an opinion. One person's opinion is not necessarily more important than another.
That's right. It is as big as it seems on TV. Oh yeah, it is. No nonsense.
I mean, it amazes me that they still have kings and queens over there.
Okay, let's read this first. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And may I add, I'm doing something positive, so don't even pay attention to the numbers. This is what I want to do. I want to escape for a minute, okay? So let's escape. Now let's listen to this. Timothy said himself, he don't know why he talking about it. You know why you talking about it, because it's interesting to us, and plus we want to do something different.
This was a totally different take, because of course we were all excited that Meghan was marrying Harry, because I mean it represented not only America but also African American people. She is a biracial girl. She appears to be white, but she is a biracial girl.
Well, now one thing he said is right. We were all excited about that because of the fact that we felt like it was changing the roles, and then there was going to be finally some black roles. So we were saying, but at the same time, we were thinking, wow, we hope nothing will happen to it. Because I remember when Kaya and Cheers Medicine, when they did one of their shows, Kaya was joking about it. And they were saying they better not cross that black woman because she gonna come out with some judo, some courage or some anything y'all can think of. But anyway, let's carry on. You know, they said you better be careful up in there, Megan.
And they had this big romance, big love affair. And it seems like the British people were not very kind to her at all. They were not very receiving of her. They had this huge wedding. I think the wedding was something like $60 million. I think you spend $60 million on a damn wedding.
And that's the truth. Millions of dollars on a wedding? Wow. Poor people can barely spend $1,000, you know. And then if you got a little money, you might find somebody spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a dress, which I think is ridiculous. You might rent a nice hall or whatever, might spend $10,000 or whatever on a wedding. But I don't want that much. I didn't want to spend all that on my wedding. To me, that was a waste of money. That's the money you could have in your account for the future for your children. But can y'all imagine that much money on a wedding? Oh, let's continue.
Whatever. It tells you the kind of money involved in this thing, though. Anyway, so
isn't it a lot of poor people over there too? And they spending all that money on a wedding? Right, Lori, that's crazy.
At least as far as I'm concerned, I thought, well, this woman is really going to have a charmed life. She's going to be royalty. You know, it's a life most people would dream of. And it seems like it was closer to a nightmare than a dream.
Yes, it turned out to be a nightmare. Now, to her, in the beginning, probably was a dream, a fantasy, a young girl marrying a prince. You know how we read it in the storybooks, and little girls want to grow up with that fantasy. But it didn't take her too long to know that it wasn't a dream. It was a horror. It was a nightmare. Okay.
She went on, and right from the beginning, they expressed how this split where they have, her and her husband have left the royal family. They first moved to Canada, and then she goes into why. And it wasn't because they just chose to leave the royal family. No, they ran her out. They killed that boy's mother. They killed Harry's mother, paparazzi, and now these tabloids have basically made this woman so uncomfortable because all the negative press she got over there. I mean, she had to know that it was going to be rough, right?
Well, Timothy, she probably didn't think it was going to be that rough, you guys, but it was rough. It was rough. Most of the Queen's cousins and retired courtiers live at the palace. I'm just too depressing and gloomy for a young couple. I'm just glad she got out of there. No nonsense. I have to hear that. Love you and missed you. What did she say? I'll go back up in a minute. Yeah, Vegas girl, that was just crazy. That was just crazy. For to all of y'all that's gonna watch my replay, y'all can leave y'all comments of what y'all think about it. Cause especially to the ones that really wanted to talk about it. China doll, I have been doing it, feeling so much better. Oh, you been ill? Well, my prayers go out to you too as well. But wow, let's carry on.
Good morning, people. Hey, Lisa Jackson. She had to know going in that it was going to be rough. She heard the stories about Diana, I'm sure. Diana was killed.
Well, everybody heard that story, Tim, but I don't think it's been proven that they killed her. So, Timothy, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, we all had our suspicions. Everybody still had the ideas of what went on with their mother, but I don't know.
Paparazzi. Call an accident if you want to, but they just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. There was no.
Let me move up some.
That can't happen because everything they do is scrutinized by this very, very evil press or people who are treating her very badly.
Let me move up.
And he said, enough. Can I get back to my own millions now, please? Thank you.
Wow. Well, Church Lady had a strong opinion about that. I wish she was here. She said, I just think they should be careful. She said, I just think they should be careful. Oprah isn't to be trusted. She's probably in the royals' pockets. Oprah lost my respect after that surviving Neverland, and MJ was supposed to be her friend. If Oprah could do her friend like that, she has no loyalty and isn't to be trusted. Now, somebody have a strong opinion also about Oprah Winfrey. But I'm not going to play all the Timmy Blaine stuff. I just want to hear what he said since I didn't watch him. But he did. But then there were others that also did, talked about it, did a review on it. So, I don't know. So, anyway, the people that wanted to talk about it, they're not here right now. So, at least they can catch the replay. Because they were very interested in this as well as I was. Now, I see somebody on also that I want to watch. I said I'm going to give myself 30 minutes, but it's been 43 minutes. And since nobody else want to weigh in on it, that's interesting in Royals, I'm going to go. But if it is, just say it right now. If not, I'm going to go. And that's all. My 30-minute commentary was on the, whatchamacallit. To those of y'all going to watch the replay, just leave your comments down in the comment section. Now, with that said, not me, but maybe y'all, I'm gonna get back to. No, I'm not gonna even do that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna get back to the more messier commentary, but not here. I wanted this just to be something positive right now. If it was, now y'all see the difference between me doing commentary on mess and doing commentary on something positive. What that tell y'all? Human nature loves mess. And the messier you are, the more people that's gonna watch it. But I didn't expect for nobody to come watch the Royals. I already knew that. That's why I said I'm gonna come back separately. And just had a few people in here that like it. That's right, Laura. Y'all like this video on the way out. And let me reiterate, Brianna, I wasn't trying to offend you. I'm thinking, because somebody said it was because you private it. Well, like I said, I didn't watch it. And the ratchet part of what was said wasn't played, but I get it. But I'm thinking maybe she wanted to edit something out. All he did was he just played the Dwayne, and I said it was wrong, and he played Lady Nika commented down. So this is my public apology to you. So I got my name, I got you hashtagging the title so you can see that I said this. And when I come back tomorrow morning, I'll say it again if need be. But I wasn't trying to offend you at all. I wasn't trying to do nothing to hurt your feelings. I was just doing commentary as usual, and that's all it was to it. So okay, so it is what it is, and that's the way. Oh, girl, Deanna on. Oh, let me go watch. I accidentally hit something. See Deanna on loud, live, and in order. Let me go over there, drop down, and say hi, Deanna. So that was my quick commentary on the Royals, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. And thanks for dropping down. Thank you for everything. Like everybody liked the video, and thank you for the few that was interested in this. Okay, now I love you too, China Doll. Let me get over and see what Deanna talk about. Okay, see y'all later, alligators. After a while, crocodiles. Toodaloo.